Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm doing another layout of everyday life, but this one doesn't occur every day. This is my husband working out in the field, relocating some of his plants into a second garden. And in this fenced in area, there was a fawn that he didn't see that had been born the night before or the morning of. The mothers like to leave their fawns in this fenced in area. And the fawn got scared when he heard my husband. So he hid up under our porch steps, which are right here. My husband didn't get super close and got some pictures of him. And I blew this one up and you can see his little eye. He's peeking. He's super scared. He barely made it over there because his legs weren't worthy yet, kind of had sea legs. And I think this will be a fun layout to scrapbook. So for this layout, I decided that I wanted to pull out one of my old paper pads and I wanted to scrapbook using that. So I've been trying to use my 6x6 paper pads. I really loved how this green went with all the green. So I want to use this green color. And I did look ahead on my paper pad what I wanted, but I'm not exactly sure completely what I want to use. So I know I want to use these two sheets and I don't think they're busy. So I think I can there's clouds in this picture, so I may use this cloud sheet. I was thinking about it. But then I wanted to see if there was some other color I could bring in, something fun to add. That's a little busy for me for the layout. But I like this paper pad. It had a lot of subtle things that could be used for different things. Let's see if I can find anything I like. So I don't see anything in here I want to use. So I think I'm going to incorporate some solid paper. So I have pulled out my 12 by 12 paper and I used chocolate chip by Stampin' Up! And I'm going to put this is 6 by 8. So I basically took a 8.5. Well, this is 8.5 by 6. I just cut it down to 6 inches. I'll be able to use the other scraps for paper. And I want to put this in the middle. Then I want to take my 6 by 6 paper and I want to frame it here. But one of the things I noticed that's driving me crazy is on this is just a little bit of edge where that perforation mark was where we pulled it out of the pad. So I want to trim that away ever so slightly. So I'm just going to put this on here. And I think I'll put it, let's see. There we go. So now I have that, and I'll do the same with this one because now there's the perforation mark. I just want to get that little bit off, but I want to keep them the same size. And this way I can really enjoy this pattern paper because I think it goes well with the green. So we'll put both of these in here. I think I'll leave an inch from both sides. And now let me see how I want my picture. So this tells the story. So I'm going to kind of put them in order. And I want to stagger my photos. But I don't think I want to put this one in order. I think I'm going to put it down here and put the close-up there because I just think it really catches your eye to see him. And I'm going to mount all these in the same chocolate chip. So I'll be back. One of the things I hate is matting photos. I always seem to mess this up, and you can see that I forgot to put the paper on this side of the picture. So what I am going to do is use a scrap piece, and this is just a little tip. You can use a scrap piece, so I didn't have to cut a whole brand new piece, and line it up to make the side of my photo mat. No one will ever know except you, and if someone takes apart this album in the future. So I'm just going to adhere that down, position it exactly where I want to, and then voila, we have a matted picture. And then I will just snip off the ends with my scissors. I hope that you find this tip helpful, and let me know in the comments if you ever have trouble matting your pictures. But I wanted to save paper, and that way I was able to use a scrap to fix it, and it works out just perfectly. Next, I want to use this 6x6 sheet of clouds because there's clouds in those photos, and I'm going to turn this around because of that perforated edge. I decided that I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch strips, and I'm just using the left side of, actually they're 1 inch strips, I'm sorry. I'm using the left hand side of the cutter, and I'm going to cut several of these strips because I want to use them on this layout. I wanted to add just another pop of color. The clouds are perfect because they're part of nature, and I'm not exactly sure how I want to adhere these on. You will find out later as I go to assemble the page. They end up in different spots, but I'm just playing here to see exactly where I would want to put them. I think that this will help just add some extra interest to the page, and I like all the natural colors because all of these photos are, again, outside. And I will play with these paper strips for quite a while and still come up with slightly different configuration, I believe, when I adhere them down. I'm going to show you how I assembled this layout. I thought you might be interested. If not, I have chapters where you can skip ahead. But I always find it fun to watch the process of others, how they put their scrapbooking pages together. One of the things I wanted to tell you about this fawn is that he did survive. We have watched him grow up this summer, and he likes to lay underneath our spruce trees. He's hid from other predators there by his mother, and sometimes he gets out and runs around the yard. His legs are working just perfectly. He hates the lawnmower. He's been blessed because we have had a dry summer and not had to use the lawnmower very much, so he doesn't have to go through that fear of the loud sound of the lawnmower. But it has just been absolutely fun to watch him grow up, and we have a fawn about every year, but this is the youngest fawn that we have seen so far on our property, and nature is just wonderful to watch. Next, I decided to get out some thickers. These thickers are going to be perfect to make my title. I'll use my T ruler to put the title down and make sure that it stays straight. I am not doing the title as we typically would think. I'm going to do one word on one side of the page and the other on the other side. And I'm using Just Born for my title because I think it's absolutely fitting. I don't always have enough letters in the thickers to use, but I really enjoyed the fact that I could use some of these today and that it brought the scrapbook layout quickly together. In addition to that, I love the color brown. It adds another pop of color, and by having the words on both sides, it will both have that beautiful brown color that is a highlight color of the fawn. So that's another thing, is when you do a title, you can either pull out the color from a paper or you can pull it out from your pictures. And if you want to put it on each side of the page, then you can do that too. It doesn't always have to be on just one page. I decided I didn't like all the white on the page, so I got out Stampin' Up! Teal, and I am going to stamp on my page. Now that messed up, and I really don't like how it looks. I was too heavy-handed with the little cube. There, that's absolutely perfect. So I'll just be able to cover that up with my journaling box, and then I'm going to stamp some more of this down. I end up with another spot I don't like, but we will add some embellishment to the page, and I will continue to ink this around. I was scared to ink on my pages at first, but you know, when you make a mistake, you can cover it up. It's not a big deal. Most people aren't really even going to notice it except you, the creator. And I think this turned out lovely and added a little bit of interest. I got out my balloon dies and I decided to cut yellow balloons. Now I used Hello Honey by Stampin' Up! I wanted a muter color because all the colors on here are more muted, and a bright yellow would have looked too much. And I really like how this turned out. And there you go. Birthdays celebrate the just born fawn in our yard. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I'll see you next time. And YouTube has suggested this video for you. If you are interested, click on it. I'll see you next time.